how did Dr. Abs come to be your brand?
It's actually a combination of,
You're really big on mind, body, soul.
right.
And how has this played a role in not only your personal life, but your professional life?
There's different principles that I live by. One of them is health, natural health solutions. There's fitness, there's nutrition, there's supplementation, there's motivation or mindset.
I mentally create this space of I don't know if it's all the endorphins or maybe there's more to it.
I think 2 days is my limit. I always say to myself, never skip 3 days in a row.
Yeah.
2, it's like pushing it. I hate to do that, but
Hi, if you don't know me, my name is Celeste. I'm a certified image consultant, and I help speakers, entrepreneurs, and influencers really discover and master their own unique style so that they can command presence in any room that they walk in. Today, I'm so fortunate to have Dr. Bryan Abasolo with us today, and he is also known as Dr. Abs. He is behind the muscles, his mission to help people live pain-free, confident, and fully in their power. I sit down with him today and we're going to talk about natural health, mindset, and physical style are all connected and how entrepreneurs and leaders can show up stronger, sharper, and in more control of their lives. So from the inside out. Welcome, Bryan. Thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate the time. I know you're a busy doctor and doing so many things.
Yeah, a lot of things going on in my life right now, but I'm just balancing and just trying to get through every single one and just do it to the best of my ability.
Yeah, and you're really big on mind, body, soul.
Right.
And how has this played a role in not only your personal life but your professional life? With your business, how do you really master all those three?
Yeah, I like to call those my buckets. There's different principles that I live by. One of them is health, natural health solutions. There's fitness, there's nutrition, there's supplementation, and there's motivation or mindset. So I encompass all 5 of those principles. I really believe that if a person can maximize each of those categories in their life, I think they're just going to be they're going to be on cloud 9. They're going to be living a life that's fulfilled, and I think that it's going to get them to where they want to be and all the goals that they want to accomplish, they're going to get accomplished by filling each one of those buckets. I mean, if you really break it down, me being a healthcare practitioner, a holistic one at that, natural healthcare solutions, these are solutions that aren't going to involve drugs, surgery, injections, things that are pushed on our society a bit too much, in my opinion, and they have very negative side effects that could affect your mental health, your physical health as well. And, a lot of times they don't really get down to the root cause of the problem. But the things that I do in my clinic are very natural, non-invasive, safe. They're high tech. So, I'm combining technology with, the old school methods of chiropractic and other modalities like that to give people a solution to better their health, to recover from injuries, car accidents, whatever the case may be. And those are things that aren't going to affect them negatively. It's only going to be positive for them. So if they're feeling better, they're going to perform better, right? And then when it comes to exercise, obviously, if you don't move, it's going to affect your health tremendously. I think movement is the key to life. We all have to move in some capacity. I mean, there's tons of studies that show that, just a little 30-minute walk could, enhance your health tenfold. But, there's other things that you could do exercise-wise, but that's just going to give you the confidence, the self-esteem boost that you're going to need to push through in other aspects of your life, whether it be your career, your personal relationships and things like that. Diet, nutrition, of course, is key. Everything you put in your body is going to influence how you perform. So the better things you put in your body, the better you're going to perform overall. And supplementation, I like to think of supplementation as filling in the gaps from whatever the nutrition isn't providing you. You're filling in the gaps with, targeted supplementation that is just going to take you to that next level. And then last but not least, and probably most importantly, is mindset. You gotta, whatever's in between your ears, that's the most important, because even though I think you could make strides with the other aspects that I just mentioned, you could get on a diet program or you could get on a fitness program and see results. I think if your mind isn't in it, it's not going to be conducive for the long term, right? If you want that long-term sustainability, you got to be focused, you got to be motivated, you got to be disciplined. That you have to sacrifice in order to accomplish your goals. And it's tough, but I think if you're mentally strong, everything else is going to fall into place.
Oh yeah, agreed. I mean, mindset is huge, right? Just even as a business owner,
absolutely,
entrepreneur, like it's not for the weak, in my opinion.
Trust me, I know that for a fact. Yes.
Yeah, and when you have that mindset of growth and open and just being present, and I think that's truly moved the needle for me personally.
Right.
So I love that you implement that, because I love chiropractors. I think like getting adjusted is like the best thing ever.
Yeah.
But there's so much more to the health and wellness, and you really encompass everything.
Yeah.
And I'm sure your I've almost said the clients, but your patients, right? I'm sure that they that differentiates you from other doctors in your space.
Yeah, I mean, I've always liked to present to the public something different, right? And I know what other chiropractors do, but the way I wanted to set myself apart was to bring the latest and greatest machines and things that helped my patients heal without the use of my hands, because my hands can only do so much, right? Yeah. But if I could bring in high-tech things like deep tissue laser or a spinal decompression system or shockwave therapy, which can aid in what I do with my hands, I think it's just going to give the patient that much better of a result. And yeah, like you mentioned, I mean, you being an entrepreneur yourself, there's ups and downs like everything, right? We have our good days and our bad days, but that's where that mental health comes into play, where you just need to stick with it. Tomorrow's another day. It's a new day. If you had a bad day, just, chalk it up to, hey, that's the way the cookie crumbles, and you just got to move on to the next with a better attitude. You wake up feeling refreshed, and you just say, you know what, yesterday was yesterday. What happened yesterday was yesterday, and now it's a new day. I'm going to move forward. I'm going to be positive. I listen to podcasts in the morning, with positive affirmations and just people preaching positive thinking. I think that's very key, because there's so many negative thoughts that come into our heads on a daily basis. And I think just switching out every single negative thought with a positive one, I think is a good way to kind of get yourself out of that funk and just focus on, the potential of what's there, whether it's in your business, whether it's your physique, your mental health, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, all of them.
Right.
Gratitude. I think that's like the biggest thing.
Gratitude, yes. 1000%.
It's like when you're like, oh, today's, like you just said, today's a new day. I get to like do the things that I want to do, or I get to do today. Like, thank you for a new day. It's like, sometimes it's that like simple.
Yeah. It's funny you said thank you. I've actually caught myself just waking up every single morning just saying thank you. Whatever you believe in, the higher power above, just thank you. Just thank you for allowing me to get up today, to live this life, whether hard or difficult, whatever the case may be. You're alive. You got a chance to rectify your situation. And that's the way I think everybody should think about things. Just be positive, learn from your mistakes from yesterday or from the past, and use those for growth in the future.
Yeah. And you also mentioned like the way you feel about something. I know for me, when I physically work out, right, I mentally create this space of like, I don't know if it's all the endorphins or like maybe there's more to it, but it not only makes me feel good, but it helps me focus, helps me be able to take on more of the things that I want to do. So
yeah, absolutely. I think that for me, I get cranky if I don't work out. Like 3 days, I think 2 days is my limit. I always say to myself, never skip 3 days in a row. 2, it's like pushing it. I hate to do that. But after that, I don't know about you, but I get cranky. I get kind of depressed. It's like I need movement. I need to work my muscles a little bit. So, going to the gym, working out, just getting in your physical fitness, whatever that may be, whether it's yoga, Pilates, going to the gym, taking a class, sitting in the sauna, whatever the case may be, you want to release those toxins from your body, release those endorphins, those feel-good chemicals that your body releases after you work out. And, that's going to parlay into everything else you do. You're going to get that confidence. You're going to get those energy levels that you need to sustain yourself throughout the day and accomplish your goals that you're talking about.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So how did Dr. Abs come to be your brand? It's your brand, right?
Yeah, it's my brand.
Okay.
It's my brand. I love it. It's actually a combination of two things. Obviously, I have my doctorate in chiropractic. My last name's Abasolo. So in college, dates back to, circa 1998 through 2002. But a lot of my friends would butcher my last name, they were very immature. We were very immature at that age. So they would call me all kinds of names and things like that. But we usually went by your last name.
Oh yeah.
They would call you by your last name simply because there was too many Bryans and Johns and whatever the case may be. So they called me by my last name, but then they just decided to shorten it. At the time I was, believe it or not, I was pledging a fraternity at the time. And I was very stressed, let's just say, with pledging, and I was on a full schedule, 15 credits. Wasn't getting a lot of sleep during that semester, and definitely lost a little body fat, a little weight, which is maybe a good thing. At that time, my metabolism was a lot faster than it is today.
Yeah.
So I just developed, it was like I saw muscles that I hadn't seen in basically my entire life. So from making fun of my last name, it went to just calling me Abs. We'll shorten it. It's short and sweet. So they started calling me Abs. And then once I got my doctorate in chiropractic, I kind of just combined the two, and Dr. Abs was born.
It stuck.
Yeah, it stuck.
Yeah, I like it though, right? I mean, I like that it has a connection to your last name.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest, I've seen you without your shirt, and you've got how many abs?
I don't know.
Come on,
they're there.
You counted.
I think it's like
12.
8 or so. No, 12. That'd be insane. 8. Some people can display more than others, but I was blessed with. Got to thank my parents for that, I guess.
Good genes.
The genetic pool there, but yeah, it was a name that stuck. Mm-hmm. And although some people may find it a little cheesy or whatnot, I feel like it's something that sets me apart. I feel like, being confident in your body, I think is like a status symbol. You know what I mean? Like anybody, when you work out and when you obtain or achieve a specific physique, or you achieve your goals, that is just going to give you the utmost confidence. And people see that, hey, they may not have, the materialistic things, but just looking at their body, they're super fit. That means they're disciplined. That means they're committed. That means they're dependable, because they're always going to be going to the gym and working on themselves and whatnot. So I just think it shows what type of person you are just by the body that you could achieve.
Yeah. But you said something too. It's like this confidence.
Yeah.
It's so important that confidence isn't just about like the clothes that I help people wear.
Right.
But it is about your posture.
Right. Yes. Posture.
You help people with their posture.
Very important.
You help people, with the food intake, the nutrition, strengthening the muscles, like all of that encompasses someone's confidence and whether or not they're able to achieve personal or professional goals.
Yeah, 1000%. I mean, it's kind of like I practice what I preach, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to be that healthcare provider that, is just out of shape and sloppy and is promoting all these health things to my patients, and I'm not living that lifestyle. So I like to show my patients that, hey, if I could do it, you could do it. I'm not better than you. We're all humans at the end of the day, and we all have the ability to be our best self. Now, my best self may be different from what you reflect, but at the end of the day, it's not a comparison game.
Yeah.
I see a lot of things on social media. We're always looking at social media on our feeds and comparing ourselves to others and the lifestyle and the physiques and all that. And it's like, hey, listen, I can't look like that guy. He's 50 pounds heavier than me. I'm just never going to get to that. Or, I don't care about that.
Yeah.
All I care about is the person that I see in the mirror at the end of the day. Right. And that's how I feel everybody should see it. Maximize your own self, what God gave you. And that's all you should be concerned about. Yeah. And at the same time, allow people like myself to help guide you in that direction, whether it be through diet, exercise, the things that I could provide to get you healthy enough to exercise, and perform at your best in the gym or in life, and maintain that mindset in every single aspect of your life.
So key.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love that you practice what you preach.
Yeah.
If you will.
You got to. I mean, look at you. You dress amazing. I mean, obviously you're an image consultant. You're not going to, be dressed,
God, I would hope
any
not.
type of way. You gotta show people that, hey, you know what? I know what I'm talking about. I can provide you, or at least give you the insights so that you could achieve the image that you want to achieve.
Right. I mean, you have to build trust and credibility.
Right. Yes.
But you also have to truly believe in your work. And I think that separates you from other physicians. I'm not saying they don't practice what they preach,
Right.
but I have a lot of family in medicine, and I'm not putting any names under the bus. I love you all.
Are they watching?
Yes. But there are some that just kind of like, oh my God, like, what are you doing? Don't you understand that nutrition is part of that? And it's lacking. And I don't want to go too off, center here, but they only give you like this much in med school about nutrition.
Right.
And it is like the key to living healthy in body. I mean, there's so much.
Yeah.
So I don't want to give that.
Don't get me started. I mean, obviously we got a lot
Right.
of them push the pharmaceuticals and things like that. So, but with diet and exercise, getting fresh air, drinking lots of water, getting some sunshine. I mean, a lot of these they call them the natural doctors, right? They provide you with, a lot of what we need in our life to function at our best without putting in any garbage in your body that is going to maybe fix the issue, probably not, just mask it in a sense.
It's a Band-Aid.
Yeah, it's a Band-Aid, and then it's going to provide you with all kinds of side effects that they're going to put you on another pill for, you know what I mean? And so by the end of the day, you're on like 10 medications, and it's just frustrating to see, because I have patients like that where they give me a laundry list of medications, and it's like, oh geez. And me as a provider, I have an ethical standard I can't tell them to stop taking those pills. I have to say, hey, look, keep listening to the doctor that prescribed them to you. But what I want to do is I want to bring you in, start incorporating these natural healing solutions. Okay. And eventually we're going to get you to a point where you're feeling so good. You've lost 30 pounds. Your knee isn't hurting anymore. Your back, your disc herniation has healed up. I want to provide that for the patient so that when they go back to their general practitioner and they do all their lab work and physicals and things like that, that general practitioner is like, oh my God, whatever you're doing, keep going. And hey, let's reduce your medication in half.
Yeah.
That's a start.
That's a win,
and
big
then little
win.
by little, they're going to see, it's like, oh wow, my doctor took me off these medications. I don't have to take this anymore. And it's because of you. And that brings me joy. That brings me pride in that I was able to help them, just get away from that poison in a sense. So, it's just little by little. You can't win them all, but I think with little steps, day by day, people can achieve their goals and get to where they want to be.
That's great. Yeah. We need more of you in the medical field. So just listen to him. So I just want to change gears just a little bit. So you've been on national TV.
Yes.
And how do you think showing up on national TV, if that, getting ready, how did you get ready? What was it? Was it for you? Was it style that brought you confidence? Was it your, healthcare regimen? Was it your mindset? Was it all of that? How did that get you ready for something that maybe was foreign to you?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but sometimes I have a little anxiety. So just the thought of going on national TV was a little nerve-wracking to me.
Yeah.
A lot of times you want everything to be perfect and you to show yourself in the best light. And for me, being a healthcare provider, most of my wardrobe is scrubs. So you mentioned wardrobe and style. I don't really have a whole lot.
Yeah.
I think I owned one suit at the time. Now I own several, and I love wearing suits. So it's like I could see how my style has transitioned throughout the years. But early on, it was my manager, essentially. He actually helped me pick out a bunch of suits. We literally went shopping before the show, and he's like, we can't let you go on how you're looking right now. I was like, we need to, if you really want to present yourself in the best way, we need to get you looking right, essentially. So, the wardrobe is key. Putting on a great suit, looking sharp, I think is going to give any man the confidence and he needs to walk into any room and perform at his best. When it comes to the mental, I actually love listening to audiobooks, and it was an audiobook. Well, it was a book given to me by my dad. He just said, "Hey, look, son, this is a book that helped me when I was younger, when I was having difficulty, in several aspects of my life." And it just really, gave me a boost of confidence. It was called The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. It's an old school book. My dad's a little up there in age, but the principles ring true. Just keeping that positive mindset. So I literally listened to that audiobook every day to work the month before I went on the show.
Okay.
And I can't even tell you how much confidence that gave me. Just everything that came my way on that show was like, I was like Neo in the Matrix. Everything was like flying by, like nothing could hit me. I was just super confident, I just knew that, it was in God's hands, of course, whatever happens was going to happen. If I, clicked with the person I was there for, that would be great. But at the end of the day, I knew that I was going to present my best self, and I was going to show as much confidence as possible because I had prepared myself. I had mentally prepared myself by listening to that audiobook. Physically, obviously I was hitting the gym before and, trying to present my best self physically. I wanted to, because there was a lot of competition on that show. I think at the time it was the tallest cast ever. There was guys that were like 6'7", 6'5". So there's a lot of good looking guys on that show, and, they all came in physically fit. So, and again, not to compare, but you want to.
We do, unfortunately.
Yeah, you do. But you also, you say, hey, you know what? They're them. I'm me. I'm me. There's nobody like me, right? I'm unique. They're unique in their own way. I'm unique in my own way. I'm going to present my best self to this person and let the chips fall where they may. And lo and behold, it helped me out.
Great. Yeah. No, because a lot of my clients are getting in front of the camera for the first time, or they're starting to speak on stage, or, they're getting TV spots, and, it's a whole new game. It's like, I can get them ready non-verbally, verbally, like communication, put a right suit on them and really build a little bit of armor. But there's so much more that goes into building that confidence or feeling authentically you. And I like that you touched on everything. You're like, okay, it's okay. We all can do the comparison and it doesn't serve us. But the faster you can say, I'm good with who I am. I love who I am. Like, I'm a badass and I'm uniquely me.
Yeah. Give yourself some grace, show some self-compassion.
Yeah.
I think that's important. I think everybody's running their own race. Everybody's on their own individual journey. Like we talked about, don't maybe use other people as motivation. Like, hey, you know what? They're doing great things. Like, I want to do great things. Let me, do something similar or go, you can learn from other people out there. You know what I mean? But don't get too caught up in the comparison game. Like I said, you are running your own race. And I think that preparation is also key. Practice, people that are going on TV, whether it's, scripted lines or whatever the case may be. I mean, practice makes perfect. It's going to make you more confident going in, the more prepared you are. And I think just that's how I approach not only going on TV, but my practice every single day. The confidence exudes onto other people. You know what I mean? If they see that you're confident, you know what you're talking about. Sometimes you don't know all the way what you're talking about, you know what I mean? But at the same time, if you exude that confidence, they're gonna be like, you know what? I like this guy. I wanna follow him. I want to follow his lead. And he seems like he knows what he's doing and he's got the solution for me. Yeah.
It's so interesting you say that because I always use an analogy. So you're in a room with 5 billionaires. Right. You're going to be the sixth one. Or if you're in a room with 5 alcoholics, you'll probably be the sixth one. So
the company really, you keep is very important.
Who you surround yourself with. And if you someone wants to look up and say, maybe I don't want to be him, but I want to be like-minded. I want to do. So I think that's really important.
And what aspects can you take away from those 5 billionaires, right? You want to pick people's brains in a sense. And it's like, okay, how did you become so successful? Maybe it's not the way that you're going to end up doing it, but you can get little gems of information from them that, you can transform into your own solution for yourself or for your goals and business and physical fitness, whatever the case may be. And I think that, who you surround yourself with is very important. What's the saying? Like, show me your 5 friends and I'll show me how like successful you are, or something like that, your closest 5 friends. So you don't want to surround yourself with people that, Debbie Downers that are going to just be negative all the time and things like that. You want people that are going to inspire you, give you motivation, be an asset, right, to your life. I think that's very important.
For sure.
Yeah.
So what do you have new going on with your business?
Oh, a lot going on with my business. Slowly but surely, we're expanding. We're looking to bring on another service very soon, massage therapy, which obviously goes hand in hand with chiropractic.
Yeah.
The massage particularly works on the muscles that essentially sustain the spine and keep it nice and posture rich. And I go in and obviously adjust the spine. I keep everything in line. So it's a very synergistic modality that I'm excited about bringing in. We have a great masseuse coming in the house. So definitely come by if you ever need a massage and an adjustment. And then we can provide you with other services. We're looking to bring on IV therapy, which I believe is very in nowadays. It's like the hot thing to do. When it comes to anti-aging, recovery, if you drink a little bit too much on a given day, you can come in and, get rehydrated. So we're looking to bring in that. And in addition to all the other services that we provide, but it's growing. As you know, being an entrepreneur, it's not easy. It's stressful.
Yeah.
But I think taking risks is something that I've partaken a little bit more in. I'm just kind of jumping into things a little bit sooner than maybe I'm comfortable with. But that feeling of being uncomfortable, I think, is what helps you grow.
That's definitely the growth.
Yeah, that's where the growth is. Get out of your comfort zone. Just do it. Deal with the, obviously make smart decisions. Don't like blow all your savings on things, but make calculated decisions. Trust people. Delegate. I have a little bit of an issue giving some power away in my office, but I brought in people that are very smart. I think that's another key. Surround yourself with smart people.
Yeah.
And they've really elevated my practice and elevated me as a provider just by being in their presence.
Yeah. I'll always I met one of the greats, David Goggins.
Oh, yes.
And so we got to chat a little bit, and the one piece of information that I always receive from him is get comfortable being uncomfortable. Yes. Whether that's physical,
he says it all the time.
Mental, all the time. And I'm just like, literally, it's the philosophy of life. Like every time I've gotten uncomfortable, before an interview, before meeting someone new, before taking like that next step in business, is when the growth and the most amazing things have happened on the other side.
Yeah. I feel like we're all resistant sometimes to change. We're stuck in our ways, but at the end of the day, if you're unhappy, it's like you got to do something. You got to change. So whatever feels uncomfortable, if an opportunity comes your way and you're like, oh my God, on TV, I got to, read lines or memorize lines or something like that, or work with people that I've never worked before, be in a public environment. If that feels uncomfortable for you, go in that direction.
Yeah.
Go in that direction. Just close your eyes, do your best, prepare, right? Be, practice, whatever the case may be, really dive into the project that you're undertaking, and everything will work out. And let's say it doesn't work out. There's you only win or you get a learning lesson, right? So there's no losses in a sense. You just take the learning lesson that you took from that, from that negative experience, and you use it to catapult yourself in some other direction.
Yeah, agreed. I don't believe in failure. I believe that it was a lesson that I was supposed to learn.
Exactly. And that just makes you stronger at the end of the day, right? It's like
more resilience.
You've been through so much. You've taken so many quote unquote L's.
Yeah.
And eventually when that W comes, it's going to be so much worth it. And what's crazy is like nobody sees that work that you do behind the scenes, right? Everybody just sees the finished product.
Yes. Oh my God, I was having that discussion with my videographer, like how intense it is to put together. I live in a different city.
Right.
I put together 5 shows, different people, different lives, getting getting that together, finding a studio, doing like the prep behind a project for one day or whatever. Just imagine, like, it's intense.
I can imagine. And then I just show up and sit down. It's like,
yeah, but like,
it's like I don't see it, but I can imagine. Yes.
But that's the beauty, like, just like what
beauty.
you do.
Yeah.
How do you think being on TV has kind of like shaped you? Do you feel like you're more resilient? Do you feel like you're more confident? Do you feel like that really made you grow as a person?
Absolutely. I think it made me realize that I can't worry about what other people think about me.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I think that, there's going to be trolls that, attack you on social media and whatever the case may be. And there's people that are just not going to like you, period, for whatever reason, whether it's, something you did, something you said, maybe they're insecure, they're projecting their insecurities onto you because they want to be like you or do something you did. Whatever the case may be, you just can't worry about that. You just got to push forward. You do have fans. I think the love that I got from the show will always trump the hate. However, that hate that you do receive, I think just makes you stronger, gives you thicker skin.
Yeah.
And it just, for me, I just use it as motivation. I use it as motivation. Like, hey, you know what? You say I can't do this, I can't do that. You call me these names, I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to do everything in my power. Not just to, combat them in a sense, but you're doing it for yourself. You're doing it for yourself that, you're telling yourself, hey, you know what? I could do anything I put my mind to. And, whether you use that as motivation or, if it's physical, mental, career-wise, I think you just want to be as focused as possible and just shut out the outside noise and just focus on what you got to do.
Yeah. I think that's really important too. Like, just as a business person, as a parent, as any kind of like relationship or trials that you have, it's just shut out the things that you can't control anyway.
Right.
Like, who gives,
like there's no reason stressing about it, right?
They're going to think about you however they want to think about you.
Exactly.
Because you're successful, because you look cute, because whatever the thing is, right?
Yeah.
So it's just important that you know yourself and have that self-worth.
Yeah, absolutely. And at the end of the day, the people that know you, the people, your ride or dies, the people that you interact with in real life, those are the people that matter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those are the people that you're going to have an influence on, and what better way to influence their life but in a positive way.
Yeah.
Through whatever you have to offer the world, like, you want to spread that awareness all over, and some people are going to be receptive to it, some people aren't. That's just the way it is, but you're going to just keep chugging along. You're not going to stop. You're going to keep pushing forward and just, preach, what you feel is going to help the masses. And that's what I try to do.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
So is there anything that I didn't ask you today that you want to like tell the audience?
Oh boy. No, just I appreciate you for having me. I mean, just if you wouldn't mind, I'd love to plug my business.
Let's do it.
Beverly Hills Disc and Laser Therapy Center. It's a one-stop shop. I like to think of it as, your end-all be-all. Whatever you need, we could provide you. And best of all, it's in a very natural, safe, and non-invasive way. So if you're looking for alternative forms of healthcare, we have, like I said, the latest and greatest gadgets. We have some amazing chiropractic adjustments, which I know you probably want to partake in, that are really changing lives. Like, I'm starting to do a lot of social media now. You guys might see some videos of mine of just the transformations that these people are having, getting up from the table, being an 8 out of 10 pain down to a literally 2-1-0 after one treatment. It's really rewarding, not only for me, but the patients just gain this confidence. And like, their self-image improves. Like, they feel positive about themselves. They feel like they could tackle the day feeling good. I think that's a very important part of life. You want to feel good on a daily basis, because that's just going to cascade into other aspects of your life. You're going to show up better at work. You're going to show up better in your relationships. You're going to be in a better mood. So I think people, even their family members, that's what I love the most, is when, oh, my wife told me this, that, I'm just in a better mood, or I'm walking better. Like, they just light up when they say things like that. So just if you're interested in that holistic alternative form of healthcare, Beverly Hills Disc and Laser Therapy Center, We're located at 640 South San Vicente Boulevard, Suite 330, right there in the Beverly Hills area. We have a great staff, very friendly, very warm, very welcoming. We treat our patients like family. And yeah, come on down, and whatever ails you, we can help.
Check them out, guys. Well, thank you again for coming on the show and taking the time. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.